Hey, hey, Babylon Fantasy Football.
We are back. It's Monday, October 27th, and we're wrapping up week 8. So we're talking about week 9 waiver wire pickups. So there's some week 8 news, some injuries here. You want to touch on them a little bit here, Charlie, and then I'll just talk about the week 9 buys that are occurring, and then we can just talk about some waivers here.
Yeah, I was pulling up the buys myself, but I'll do the injuries. I'll let you touch on the buys. The biggest one was Cam Scattaboo. I think
Yeah.
they said it was a dislocated ankle. Very gross looking if you saw the play. Unfortunate for fantasy. He was looking good, so we'll give you an option here to pick up in a moment. Other injuries, Quinshon Judkins with a shoulder. He came out of the game Sunday. They said he's likely looking like he's going to miss at least 1 week, but they don't know for sure though, so you have to monitor that. Saquon Barkley with a groin. That one I'm not too worried about because they have a bye week this week. They said Puka's going to be back. Brock Bowers should be back as well. And then Lamar should be back. Jaden should be back. Kyler should be back. So it looks like we're getting a lot of injured guys back this week, but those are just some of the notable ones. Did I miss any, Ryan, off the
No,
top of
I
your head?
think you touched most. I know Jaden's not playing tonight, but like you said, next week he should be fine. Jaden Daniels. Yeah, obviously like Debo's back tonight too, so that's good. Terry McLaurin, I think he's back too. So, like Charlie was saying, most of them are coming back or they'll be on bye or whatever. Carson Wentz, I did see. Hopefully, you didn't have him on your fantasy team, but he is out for the season, and maybe we'll sue the Minnesota Vikings as a chance for playing through with the socket being fully torn apart in the shoulder. But
I
we'll
think
see.
he honestly wanted to keep getting back out there as part of it too. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine." Like,
Yeah,
but
no, that's
honestly,
true.
he was not fine.
I probably won't sue him, but that's just still crazy. He played through all that, but yeah. So those are injuries. So week 9 buys upcoming. Cleveland Browns are on bye. Maybe they'll sort out their QB situation and potentially go towards Shador after the bye. There's maybe some rumors on that. Probably not, but we'll see for sure. Jets are on bye. Justin Fields had a good day. That was a crazy game. Saw the highlights. That was fun. Eagles are on bye. So, like Charlie mentioned that earlier with Saquon, that'll help him with coming back afterwards. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also on bye. So there's some QBs that maybe you'll need some replacements for. I know you don't want to put you want to put any money probably on any QBs, I guess waiver wise, but maybe obviously again like if Rodgers is out there, Jordan Love he had a good game finally, so he might be worth picking up. I know obviously you never know with Tua's injuries, but he did throw up for 3 touchdowns last week. So and the Ravens defense is who they play next on Thursday night. They've given up the fourth most fantasy points to opposing QBs. So don't put any money down on those people. But if you really need somebody for Baker, Hurts, or Justin Fields being out, maybe some guys to look at. I don't know if you have anybody else you want to talk about QB wise, or you can just head right into running backs too, Charlie. So,
Yeah, no, I think you said it. Don't put money on these guys, but I know the Cardinals play Dallas this coming week, and they're awful. So
so
Kyler will probably put up good fantasy points, and then Joe Flacco gets to play the Bears. So two bad defenses if you're just looking up at matchups if you got those buys. But yeah, jumping over to the waiver wire, we mentioned Cam Scattaboo's injury. So I think by far the top waiver wire on the week is Tyrone Tracy. We'll talk about Fab at the very end, but this is another big one. We've said it, it happens a couple times a year where there is a big name like this where I'll foreshadow you might be going all in or pushing at least most of your chips in for those for these types of pickups. Sorry, I was just jumping over. I had a Bam Knight. It looks like Michael Carter just got released by the Cardinals. If he's still out there, you should pick him up. There aren't a ton of other names. Tank Bigsby, if Saquon's injury ends up being more than 1 week. Dylan Sampson, if Quinshon Judkins comes out, but I think that might be it for running backs.
yeah, that's pretty much all I have for obviously the main one is Tyron Tracy. It's the biggest part. And Bam Knight, honestly, too. Like you said, if Michael Carter he did get released. I know obviously we What James Conner's gone or out for the year, but the other guy that got hurt too.
Trey
Anyways,
Benson.
yeah, Trey Benson. But at least for now, Knight, I think you said he has the backfield there. And then yeah, just repeating myself on Samson, Bigsby. Those are this injury ones. Probably wouldn't pick up Ollie Gordon, but just maybe keep his name out there as McDaniel did say he was going to have more of a workload, and he ended up having more of a workload less yesterday. And he only ran for just 46 yards, but he got a touchdown on his catch, and he did have 10 carries. So I'm not really looking to start him at all, but maybe just a guy to put out there and maybe get for in case either injuries to HN or if he ends up getting more split production and you need to have him in a deeper league. So,
Yeah, don't mind those. Two other quick running backs I just thought of. Samaje Perine surprisingly looked very good. I know he had a good matchup against the Jets, but he has another good matchup against the Bears this week. He actually was RB13 overall on 94 yards and a touchdown.
mhm.
Yeah, I just think in the right matchup, maybe you'd be able to flex him. I probably wouldn't be putting much down on him, but you never know. Keep an eye out for him. And then Emmanuel Wilson's getting very involved. It looks like Josh Jacobs is still hurt. And then, sorry, one last name, Isaiah Davis for the Jets. Brees Hall's name keeps getting brought up in trade rumors. So if he gets traded, Isaiah Davis is the guy. So if you have that room on your roster, pick him up. Just throw him on your bench in case Brees Hall gets traded.
Yep, those are good points right there too. I know P Ryan, he's been doing well. I mentioned his name a little bit earlier, but they're finally and maybe they found out just with Joe Flacco and yeah, like you said, they've had bad matchups too. But um, Chase Brown and P Ryan both did well last week, which is good. So.
I agree. Ryan, you want to touch on some wide receivers here?
Yeah, I'll touch on some receivers. Two of the big ones, I'd say probably Troy Franklin and Kayshon Boutte. If they're out there in your waivers, Troy Franklin, I know it seems like he maybe go. It's a little bit tough though. He goes kind of all in or all out, a little bit JMO type of ordeal. But last week he did have 8 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Broncos, who are like they're thriving. I think they won 5 in a row or something like that. They really are figuring it out. The Broncos are, and Bo Nix is figuring it out, and that means that Troy Franklin will be a part of it. And then Kayshon Boutte again. He found the end zone, which was his fourth time in the last 3 weeks, and then 5 times overall this year. He did have only 3 catches for 75 yards, so that was a little bit tough, but he still had weeks before that he was getting targeted a decent amount, and obviously has been in the offense pretty much for a lot of the plays too. Hopefully Romeo Dobbs is not on your waivers anymore, and people have been picking him up, but I'd say those two are the main ones. I know Malik Washington, he had a good game, but he's had some decent games for Dolphins out there in some deeper leagues, but and I know like Tez Johnson and stuff like that too. The Buccaneers receiver, I know didn't do super well yesterday. Not really anybody did because they were just blowing out the Saints as a whole. But maybe just another receiver to toss into the mix. So I don't know if I missed anybody huge there. Charlie, maybe I did.
The only name that comes to mind is Christian Watson. You mentioned Romeo Dobbs, but it's his first week back. He only played half the snaps and he saw 4 targets on 4 catches for 85 yards. And we've seen that in the past with Jordan Love. He's been his favorite target. So I think that if he's playing the majority of the snaps, he wasn't this week, but going forward, he could end up being a contributor to your fantasy leagues. I actually like him the best out of all these wide receivers, but in the wise words of Ryan, everyone should get booty.
Put that on a quote. Everybody be getting booty out here. All right, that's crazy. I love it. That's in the wise word. That's it goes on the quote. You gotta frame that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
I
funny.
did think Darnell Mooney was going to have a better game than he did because Drake London was out and Kirk was playing, but
Yeah,
that turned into absolutely nothing. So,
agreed. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Christian Watson, that's not a bad one either. If he's on the waivers, could maybe put some pop down on that after we talk on some tight ends here. Do you have any tight ends that you want to really list, or kind of just repeating names here, honestly, at this point, the last few episodes, aside from maybe
Repeating names,
Gaston?
yeah. Harold Fannin, Mason Taylor. I mean, I feel like he's not going to be a guy that you can rely on week in and week out. Colston Loveland again. He actually had another 5 targets, but it's not resulting to much. Maybe it could turn into something in the last couple games of the or second half of the year. The targets are going up, the snaps are going up. So yeah, I'd say Colston Loveland and then the guys that we've been mentioning.
Yeah, I think those are the big ones. Kittle got your touchdown that you wanted, tight end day, and there won't be tight end days anymore. So, no, I was kidding. Until next year. But yeah, that I feel like the Chargers tight end is he kind of already picked up a lot, Gadsden, or I was
Yeah, I don't
or
think
what's
he's probably
he's gonna be that?
available.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering too. I'm just like, I guess he got all picked up last week, and I know you talked about him, so um, those were really good, and obviously he performed super well on Thursday.
Yeah. Hopefully you listened to my solo show last week because then you could have picked up Gadsden. You could have picked up Christian Watson too. You wouldn't have to be fighting with uh people on the waiver wire this week because I told you it was happening after IR.
Yeah,
And
you
I
don't
picked up
need.
Tez Johnson in our league and I played him. Honestly, I wasn't like disappointed. He had 9 points in a blowout. Like I was expecting about 9 or 10. So I'm gonna keep him for a little bit, I think.
Right. You don't always need to hear both of our voices. One of our voices can also work, and you should still be listening on Mondays. But we will be here for the rest of our episodes together. Go forward. So, anyways, those are some guys maybe you can look at picking up. Um, Bob wise, Charlie, I know obviously nothing QBs, but running back, how much would you put down? Do you think on Tyrone Tracy?
All of it.
Yeah, everything you got left.
Yeah, I mean 90 to 100. I mean if you have a 8-man league, no, I'm not putting that much on there because there's going to be other guys that come available. But in our league, there's been no running backs available to pick up that are starting. So if Tyron Tracy is a starting running back, so you're going to be able to plug in like every week. I mean, he's probably not going to do amazing, but he's probably going to get you 8 to 10 points, which is hard to find at the running back position off the waiver wire.
Yep. No, I agree with you on that. Uh, yeah.
Would you go any different?
No, I'd say maybe, yeah, I'd say 90 to 100. If you can get lucky and get him for 80, I guess I won't get lucky and get him for 80, it seems like. But we'll see. We'll see. But I think, yeah, the night, like 80 to 100 range, put a lot of it down. He's their main guy. I know they have Devin Singletary there. Could be a little bit interesting. I know the offense was thriving with Scattaboo, but it also I feel like has just been thriving kind of with Jackson Dart as a whole. So
Maybe I'm going a little overboard with the all of it, but I'm just assuming that everyone doesn't have all their fab left like so far. So I'm assuming most people have like 75 to 50%. Like me in our league, I do not have any fab left because I spent it all on Trey Benson. If you want him, you're probably going to have to go all in. That's
yeah,
all I'm saying. But yeah, don't let someone get him for cheap. So put a decent bid on him.
yeah, but at least over 60, I would say.
Yeah.
So
One name that did come to mind, if Trey Benson got dropped, he's supposed to be back here in a couple weeks. And he was a full waiver fab dump for me. I do think he'll take over that role when he gets back. So just go pick him up, stash him on your bench if he's out there.
yeah, I like that one too. He's a good running back, good team. So I probably wouldn't put any on Bam Knight then really, to be honest, right? Uh,
Probably not. I mean, if you need a play this week,
yeah,
Cardinals aren't on bye, are they?
no,
No, they just were on bye.
they're coming off it. Yeah, Dylan Sampson, Tank Bigsby, none of those guys really wouldn't put much in either. Maybe like $2 or three or something like that, maybe to confirm if you need to get them. If neither one of them are ready to go after the bye, then it'd be a good start for week 10. But then P Ryan maybe another like three or four or something like that, potentially $2. So
Yeah, I forgot about those guys. I guess if you're the Saquon manager or if you're the Judkins manager and you're really tight on running backs, maybe go 5 10 just to make sure you get the backup in case news comes out that they're more injured than they are.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I think that's it for running backs. Wide receiver wise, how much would you go on Booty?
Gotta go get yourself some booty. I'd probably go. I still would only go like 15, 20. Not a whole lot, honestly. Maybe 15 more around that mark. So, but out of any of the receivers that are out there, yeah, maybe Christian Watson could get up there about that amount too. But um, I don't really think any of the other receivers are worth $15. So I'd say Booty, and then the rest maybe like 5 to 10, with maybe putting a little bit more down on Watson. So
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think Watson is my number one wide receiver pickup this week. We've talked about in the past the New England Patriots have been sporadic. We've seen Diggs go off and
yep.
Douglas and yeah, so Watson number one, Booty two, go 15 max on those guys. Tight ends wise, not much. Um, buck or two on them. Anything more?
No, I mean unless Gadsden's out there, wouldn't do much.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dollar, $2. So, but I don't think Gadsden will be out there for most leagues, as we've been mentioning. So,
Agree, agree. Some defensive matchups. The Lions get to play the crappy Minnesota Vikings. The
at home.
Chargers play the Titans,
Yep.
Jags play the Raiders, and the Packers play the Panthers. Those are four top probably waiver defenses this week.
Yeah, I'd say that Packers defense would probably thrive again against, unless Bryce Young's back, but the Panthers did not do well yesterday, and they only put up 9 points. Bills defense got up to 20. So, no, those are all good call outs there.
Yeah, I agree. And go get those handcuff running backs. We saw another one go down this week. I keep saying that, but
Yeah.
you never know when your guy's gonna get knocked out. I even felt guilty not taking I'll just be honest, I don't have the Packers backup right now, so if something happened to Jacobs, I'd be screwed. And I felt like picking him up. Oh, I mean, Ryan, you're the James Cook manager. How do you not have Ray Davis on your
Ray Davis.
bench right now?
I see him even in goal line opportunities too. Ray Davis is getting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the thought there. I probably should go get him, especially now that I probably have a chance again in our league with putting up 170. So, or maybe 170. We'll see.
Who's your other running back?
I have Chase Brown and
You've Gibbs.
and J.K. Dobbins and yeah, and
Gibbs.
so
Yeah. So Gibbs, you can't really get the handcuff because Monty's already
mine's
taken.
already there. Yeah. So
All right, fair, fair. Yeah, go get those handcuffs. They're important. They're important.
right, especially as like we said, Saquon, Judkins, some of those guys get hurt. It's about once a week, it seems like now. Scatterboo. So those
Yeah,
are
no,
all big parts. Charlie is the good information. Charlie and I are both going to be 3-5 in our league, our main one. So
I think I
maybe
got the sixth seed right now still because I'm the
points.
points. Yeah. I was
So
only
maybe
like fourth or fifth in our league before this week, and I
yeah,
still put up 130, so I'm doing fine.
yeah, you should. I mean, maybe we'll both go on a little hot streak here. That's all we need.
Yeah, we got to get back into playoffs, keep our streak alive because we've both never not made it.
I agree. We will. So,
All right, reach out with questions. Hopefully, no one else gets hurt and everyone gets back this week, and we'll see you for starts of the week.
yep, we'll see you on Friday for starts. Pick up those waiver guys we talked about. And like Charlie said, reach out if you have any starting and sitting questions. So, thank you for listening.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it. Short
listening.
one today. This is what we need. Thank you, Chuck.
Yep, we'll catch you later, Ryan.
We'll see ya. Bye.